Hi everyone, I'm Kanta, and today I'm here with Great British Mag, which is a digital magazine that covers everything you need to know about living and studying in the UK. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about what it's really like to study at UCL as an international student. I am an exchange student from Japan, Tokyo, and it's been almost 3 months since I came here. Alright, I'm gonna talk a little bit about life in UCL, right? Classes in UCL, what's it like? Like simply put, lots of readings. The class itself is mainly discussion, at least in my case. I'm not sure about other department, but in my department and the modules I take, mostly we have a discussion session in a class based on the lecture videos and also the readings we are supposed to do before the class. We discuss some points argued in the reading or in the lecture video. The big difference compared to Japan's university is the number of modules you take in one term. I was told to enroll 4 modules per week, which is apparently normal here. But since I would take like more than 10, like 12, 13 modules per week back in Japan, I was like, 4 modules in a week? It would be so easy, but I was wrong. Really wrong. The amount of workload for one class is different, so different. I have a lot to read and lecture videos to watch. As I said, the class is mainly about discussion based on the preparation you have done before the class. That's the biggest difference from my experience in Japan. It takes a lot of time to do the tasks before the class. And I mean, the content is most of the time interesting. And in class, I'm always impressed by the arguments that other students make. I would say the classes are quite active here in the UK. As an international student, especially as a person whose native language is not English, I struggle a lot with the coursework. As I said, there's so much to read for a class. I mean, it seems a lot. Even for native speakers, it takes me much more time to finish those things. Also, the lecture is sometimes hard to understand because of the language barrier. This might not be a problem for many of you, I'm aware of that, but for those who had all the educations in your own language, like me, you should be familiar with like technical and academic terms before you start studying here. So what is the campus like? Well, I mean, campus is great, actually. I love the campus. The place I use the most is a student center, and there's a place called student center where you can study. Like a lot of students study in student center because it's open 24 hours and there's actually a shower room in the basement floor. And it's in the center of the main campus, so like it's an accessible place, right? And also, yeah, library is a place to study. I like it there. I mean, it feels kind of like a museum there because there's like sculpture in the museum, in the library. It feels very like European university library, if that makes any sense. But sometimes the Wi-Fi connection in the library is so poor, it's so bad. Maybe it depends on where in the library you are. Alright, so food in the canteen. Yeah, I like them. I mean, they're usually like £5 or £6, which is quite cheap considering it's in London. And the menu changes every day or every few days. I'm not sure, but every time I go there, the menu is different. It changes, so like, yeah, you don't get bored. It's not like you eat the same thing every day. Are they good? Yeah, as I said, I like them. Usually I like them, but sometimes I have no idea what I eat. But still, it's okay. I'll talk more about food later. Yep, and also there's one thing that I want to say. UCL is called UCL, London's Global University, and as this name suggests, it is very international, it is very global. There are students with different backgrounds. So far, I have never felt that I'm a minority, or I have never had racism on me, which I didn't expect. And also it's a great thing as an international student, right? Alright, so I'm going to talk a little bit about life in London. One of the best things about UCL is that it is located in central London, literally central London. Of course, the education is highly evaluated and they are very good. I know a lot of my friends, everybody says UCL's education is good. But when you're in university, and especially as an international student, you don't want to spend your whole time inside your room, studying or something. You want to explore outside, right? And London has a lot to offer you. There's a lot to see, a lot to visit, a lot to experience. Right. So transportation in London. And transportation in London is great. Like there are many lines and you can go basically anywhere by tube, also by bus. Specifically around UCL, walkability is good. Walkability is good or bad, I'm not sure, but anyway, you know what I mean. So, you can walk to British Museum, Regent's Park, Baker Street, oh, and King's Cross and St. Pancras Station is really close to UCL. And it's the next stop by tube. There's Harry Potter's platform 9 3/4 and the shop inside the King's Cross station. Also, you can go to the River Thames on foot if you don't mind walking for like 30 minutes or a bit more. Trafalgar Square is close enough. You can walk if you want. The bottom line is UCL is perfectly located. For me, as an art history major, having a lot of museums and galleries is the best thing about London. There are musical theaters, place to watch, a lot to offer you. Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about food. A lot of people say food in the UK is not good. Back in Japan, when I told my friends that I would study in the UK, they were like, oh, the food there is not good. But as a matter of fact, I don't have any problem with food. Actually, food here in London is pretty good. I've tried British traditional food, like pies or like British breakfast, and I love them. But I understand when people say they don't love them. But the thing is, London is such a big city that there's so many kinds of restaurants, and it's not like you eat British food every day. You can eat whatever you want. You can find anything in London. My favorite British food is sausage and mash, and my favorite non-British food is German doner kebab. There are a lot of kebab shops actually. There's one problem about food. It's super expensive. It's super expensive to eat out, technically speaking. If the price is one digit, like cheaper than £10, I would say it's cheap for London. £9 for one meal. It's so expensive for me as a Japanese person. Like, food costs much less in Japan. So that's the only thing that I don't like about London. But other than that, I don't have any problem with food, and there's a way to save money. Cook for yourself. I live in a hall and I usually cook myself. Surprisingly, the groceries are very cheap, so you can save a lot of money by cooking for yourself. Alright, entertainment. Movies, plays, musicals, operas. London has so many to entertain you. My favorite place is Leicester Square. It's basically like a movie place. Also, university students often go to clubs. And personally, I'm not a club person, but many of my friends say they enjoy clubbing, and I hear there are a lot of them. And there are museums, if you count them as an entertainment. Yeah, there are museums, right? And the things I just named. You'll never get bored in London. Never. You won't get bored. So, that is what it's like to study in UCL and live in London. A lot of my friends or classmates say London is a busy city. I don't find it that busy, but yeah, I mean, London is a huge city. That is for sure, that is true. And I cannot emphasize enough that UCL is such a global university and it is culturally so diverse that you won't feel left out. You won't feel left out. You'll have a great time because I'm having a great time. So yeah, I hope this video helped you out, and do subscribe to our channel for more useful stuff about studying in the UK and click the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.